All right, we're back again. If you haven't liked and subscribed, just do it now before we start. Okay, we're back again, and one of the most said things on online these days is how to make money, and it's evident that we all want to make money one way or the other. A very important thing is there is a lot that comes with trying to make money. So it's not just about skills. It's not just about. Sometimes it's not just about the resource you have at your disposal. It's. I mean, there are so much factors to it, and a lot of times it could be something as simple as strengths or problems, and we're going to focus on the opportunities that the COVID-19 has brought. They're not. COVID-19 didn't bring the opportunities, but it made them more relevant because people are trying to avoid as much gathering as possible. It opens up a new market for a number of opportunities for people to make money, and today we'll be discussing a number of them. So let's start and see what we can get out of this. The first we'd like to talk about is streaming services. Just like we said, we're going to be exploiting opportunities that's been brought about by COVID, and I don't know why he's saying that COVID brought about opportunity. It seems weird, but that's what it is. I mean, they've become mainstream because COVID happened. These services has been in existence, but because of the trend of things, they're going to become more relevant, and there will be more opportunity to make money through by offering some of these services. Yeah, the first is going to be streaming services, and churches, schools, events, and all have become something that has died down. I mean, attendance to school, attendance at events, they've all gone down. Everybody's moved online because you're trying to stay safe. And it's opened up the opportunity for a lot of people who can provide that streaming service, because yeah, people still want to be part of those events and those services, and the only way we've been able to bring about that, or we've been able to offer that to them, is by providing streaming service. So now this opportunity is there, it's everywhere. Companies have events, and people don't want people to be gathered because they have to follow the law. Yeah, they need someone to stream that event so that people can be part of it. Churches have this. I mean, for churches it's a continuous thing, so over time they need someone who will be dedicated to doing that, or they have to set up a team to do that, because not everybody is advised to be gathered, and because of that people have to watch online, so it becomes relevant. It becomes something that is being sought for. Now you can position yourself to do this and make as much out of it as possible, especially if you put in mind that you can always scale this and offer this to much more than one organization, or much more than one setting. Now a simple setup will consist of a camera. If you're using just a single camera, a camera to probably the cheapest you can get to convert HDMI input to USB input will be a 4K an adapter, an HDMI adapter. So you plug that directly to your PC, and then the PC sees the input as a webcam input, and you can easily use any streaming software you want to use, or any of the platforms that they will require of you. So the setup is pretty cheap, and the barrier to entering this market is low. And we'll talk about what could be like the most expensive thing with this little setup. It will be the camera, and for the camera, it's something you can always rent, I mean, at the start. And because they have to pay you for the service you're rendering, either before the service or immediately after the service, you can offset this cost for renting and still make some gains over it. And it doesn't require a lot of technical know-how. I mean, you just have to be creative, know how to set up the camera and plug it up to the platform what you're using. Get it. You only go more technical if you need to add graphics and a lot of things. You can use a software like OBS. It's open source, and it helps you to achieve whatever you'd want to do. I mean, with basic understanding, you can use OBS. Yeah, so streaming service is something that has opened up much more than ever before, and marketing yourself is easy. You can always use social media. So yeah, I offer streaming service. You can reach out to me, and that's one thing I do, and it's been lucrative, I would say. You can also tell friends, colleagues. This spread around really quickly, because every now and then you're hearing people say, "Oh, we want to do this service, we want to do this program. There's this event, and we need someone to be able to stream it for us." It's not a complex technology, but a lot of people don't just know about it yet. Number two is delivery services. Yeah, with the advent of COVID, once again, there's been the need for delivery services. So people don't want to go out there, and if we remember during the time when COVID was in red, everybody had to stay at home, and because of that, if you want to buy goods, I mean essential goods and services had to be delivered to you for a lot of reasons. And even now that the cities are opening up, everybody wants to stay safe, so it's much more easier for you to order for things. I mean, it's something I hardly do before, but it's become a part of me these days. Even food, we just order for it. Clothing, groceries, we order for them, and there's been a surge for delivery services. I mean, it translated from the fact that you had a search for online services, goods and products, and because these things have to be delivered, you then have the need for delivery services. And yeah, this might be a bit costly. For example, if you want to start a delivery company, because you have to get either bikes or vehicles for delivery, and this is quite some cost. But there are other ways you can do this, which is get people who don't know how to market themselves and offer their services. Then you just get services for them, get referrals for them, so you stand as the conduit between those who need a service and the service provider. That's one. And another way you can enter into this at low cost, depending on your skills, is through tech. So you could build a platform. For example, I know not everybody would have how do I put it, not everybody will have that technical know-how to build a platform for that, but to bring together those who are offering, who needs the service, and those who offer the service. But it's something that can be done if you have the know-how, the technical know-how. Also, the companies who offer these services, a lot of them are looking to scale. So I've come across quite a number of them online looking for people to invest so that they can scale. So if you feel you don't have a lot to give in, you can start the business all by yourself. You can easily just invest in companies that are doing this, because trend shows that they will definitely be profitable, I mean, in a very short while. And you don't have to crowdfund. You can just call friends together, and you guys pool funds together, and probably it's just you start with one vehicle or one delivery bike, and you add to it over time, and it's something that repays back itself over time, over a very short period. It's something that repays back itself over a short period of time. So really, it's something you can easily get going with 2 or 3 friends when you pull funds together. The very important factors: just get someone trustworthy to work with. I mean, whoever's going to be probably driving the vehicles or riding the bikes. So that's a very important factor. And the second thing to consider is government regulation wherever you work in, because if I put Nigeria as an example, today they ask for this permit, tomorrow it's that permit to be able to operate such services. So you have to stay abreast, and changing government regulations affect this sector a lot, because I mean, if you look at in the past, we had go-karter, and what happened? The government just suddenly banned a lot of things around bikes, excluding delivery services. So delivery services still run, and it's something I feel has great potential. So it's something we should all look into. Okay, the third is online coaching. There's this trend in Nigeria, we call it home lesson. It's something where you have a tutor come to teach a student after school or during the weekends to just to help the student either with homeworks or strengthen to help strengthen whatever's been taught in school. And it becomes much more difficult because people are trying to stay safe and stay at home. The same thing has happened to schools. Schools are trying to do a lot of things online as much as possible. We all know that online resources are beautiful. I mean, this is a YouTube video, right? And beyond that, we watch a lot of things online and we get clarity from them. So the traditional schooling system is already switching to, hey, we can do a lot of these things online. And beyond that, formal education generally is its importance is reducing because we have a lot of people who are self-taught at the things they do and they're doing beautifully well. So it means that you can actually just go online, learn something and become better. And that's where you come in and make a lot of money out of it. Since people are preferring studying online, getting coaching for whatever it is online these days, you can just go along with the trend and offer your services for coaching online. So there are a lot of platforms for this. All you have to do is register, pass some skills test, or show whatever certificates you have and tell, so that you can prove to people that I can offer this service and certified to offer this service. Probably do a video to market yourself, a lot of things like that. And before you know, from one of those platforms or the other, you get people booking you too. And what this does, it gives you a lot of flexibility to choose what time you want to work. So, oh, this is the time I'll be free. You get those slots filled and you take classes. And beyond that, it just saves you the stress of maybe having to go somewhere to coach someone or go elsewhere to coach another. And there are a lot of open source platforms, so you could use Zoom to sort of teach anybody you want to teach. And if it's for platforms that are specifically developed for online coaching, all you have to do is most of them have those functions inbuilt. So you have the video calling functions, note sharing functions. You just have to know how to use a computer. Basically, there's no technological know-how, savviness that's required. So I think what's required of you as an individual to make it in this field is just go ahead and register on all the platforms, and before you know it, you get bookings, and that way you can make some money. One very important platform I know is Crocslearning.Africa. So it's specifically developed to offer after-school services to students. So it's one of the places you can just register on, and as a tutor get yourself certified, and before you know it, you get bookings. So I don't want to say I'm affiliated to that platform, but I'm not selling you anything anyway. So yeah, just go ahead. I think it's gonna be a great platform, and you're gonna have a lot of people that would need your services there. So go ahead and register there. The fourth is web development. Now, this would require a bit of basic skills basic web skills, probably HTML, CSS, JavaScript. But beyond that, you have a lot of content management systems these days that you can use to develop websites without coding. So you only need to understand what needs to be done and be creative. A very popular one is WordPress that a lot of us know, and this market has expanded because since people have to be at home and the market is going online, there's a search for that online presence. So people want to be known online, companies want to be known online, schools want to be known online, and you see here and there people asking for, oh, we want to have a website, because they want to build that online presence. So you could offer it as a full package, especially for people who don't even have a social media presence. Oh, we'll build a website for you, and would develop would open your social media accounts for you and help manage it. And before, you'll be surprised at how many people need these services. The funny thing is, because we never try to ask people that, let people know that, I render this service, how can I be of help to you? We don't know how many people need it, because we feel, it's, yeah, social media, a lot of people are already doing it, so what's there for me to do? But the truth is, by the time you ask around 10 people or 10 companies, you realize that one of them needs a website, or probably the one they have is not looking good enough or not working because there's nobody to maintain it. So you can just be out there to do it for one of them. So that's a very important one that's now popular and can be done uh, quite easily. You don't need a lot of skills, just basic skills. So web development, or I mean, having a social media presence or a web presence has become something that a lot of companies see as viable, because they need to present themselves online. I mean, to verify things these days, a lot of times we go online to just say that, okay, do these people exist, or what can we know about them? And when we don't find people online, or when we don't find businesses online, we start to question the fact that, okay, is this real, or are they real? So I think it's something that the current trend has opened up a lot of opportunities for. So I think it's something you could also try out. Number 5 is cryptocurrencies. Yeah, I could say investments generally, but I'm particular about this one because it's gained a lot of ground in the last 1 to 2 years. I mean, 2020 has been an enormous year for cryptos, and it's one of the things that for me I'm very particular about currently. It's one thing that if you have a bit of patience, you'd make some money. Cryptocurrencies, with a lot of research, I mean, with proper research, you could find some that offer great gains. I mean, and by research, I don't mean just follow trends that, oh, people are buying this and buying it. You have to look for projects that have profitable or proper use cases behind them, and when you find those, you can invest some bits, and with a bit of luck, and which I'll call God's grace, you could make insane gains. I think it's one way that these days you could invest. You get a lot of gains or profits beyond what you get from the normal traditional market of stocks and shares. I mean, these days you could get, to be minimal, 10% gains on crypto in a day, which is something that a traditional stock and share market will offer for you in a year. So I mean, it's day and light, black and white. There's a lot of difference between both markets, but I mean, the downside is also this volatility. It could go as high as anything today, and tomorrow it's down. So one has to be careful when venturing into this market, and like I said, you have to make sure that you're not just buying into a certain and two, you have to make sure you're not just buying into a certain project because everybody is saying buy this, buy that. Nah, you have to do your own research and make sure it's a project that adds value, it has a proper or real life use case, and then go into it. The downsides are fluctuations. I mean, very great fluctuations. So just do your research, get into something good, and wait a little while, and don't be too greedy, so that you don't wait for, I've made 100% gain, I'm waiting for the 200%, I'm waiting for the 300% gain, and before you know it, you're back to zero again. So you're back to where you started from, or lower than that. So be contented with some gains and be out. There are projects you can invest in long term. There's some that are probably just short time, but I think to make a lot of gains, you have to look at, or to make stable gains, probably you have to look at those that have real life use cases and that you can invest in over a long period of time. Yeah, we'll be talking a lot about more crypto related topics over time, probably projects that I like, or projects that I'm getting into also, and just for anyone who might be interested. not financial advice. The risk is there, so I mean, every every action could be risky, every investment could be risky, but there's a lot of risk when it comes to cryptocurrency. But I think it's just one market where you could make a lot of money these days. So let's check it out. Let's check it out. Thanks everyone for listening today, and this it's just been fun. It's just been fun. Like and subscribe to the channel. I want to see a lot of people. I want to see a lot of people. It won't cost you a thing. Just do it. Just do it. Thank you.